Hello and welcome to The Inquisitive Crafter. I'm Katrina Stewart from Crafty Jacks, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about combo drafting. So combo drafting is one of my absolute favorite techniques for extending yardage and truly mixing up colorways and creating a really unique, one-of-a-kind fabric. So if you've never heard of combo drafting, what you essentially do is take 2 or 3 colors and you strip them into really fine strips. So I have 2 colorways here that I've already stripped down. And when I say really fine strips, I mean really fine strips. They're less than a pinky width and they're just really, really tiny. As much as you can manage before your fiber really starts to fall apart. And what you would do is you would take, in this case, if I was doing 2 colors together, I would take these 2 colors, hold them together, and then as I'm drafting, I'm going to draft from both of them at the same time. And so as I'm drafting and pulling those 2 colors together, they are marling together in the yarn and creating a totally different look to the color because those colors are mixing and blending as you're spinning. And what ends up happening is you end up creating yarns that look a little bit like this, that then knit up into things that look a little bit like this. So you can see in this that there is a little bit of color repeat still happening, but not as much as you typically see in something that has been plied with itself. There's definitely a disruption to the color repeat and how it presents itself. It's the same with these mitts that I made, probably very close to the start of my spinning, that I knit for my husband for Christmas one year. And I had 3 colorways that I didn't love individually, but then I combo drafted them together, and the resulting yarn is one that I still love to this day. And you can see that there is a little bit of gentle striping in it, but for the most part you're just met with a whole bunch of heathered colors and lots of little bright flecks. And you can see that this one looks like it's got a little bit more striping than this one, but it's just a really unique way of using up multiple braids at the same time. So in my last video, I talked a little bit about combo plying and what it looked like versus combo drafting. And so you can see that these 2 swatches have exactly the same colors in them, but that this one is far more mottled and not as distinctive with the striping, whereas this one still has some striping, but it's definitely mottled. It's got a little bit more of that distinct striping left, whereas this one just really doesn't. So I went through my stash and I pulled out some braids to see if I could come up with a combination of braids that you might not really think about putting together, but might end up being a really interesting fabric. So what I came up with were these 3 colorways. So these are all from Sweet Georgia, and when you're working with combo drafting, using the same dyer is one of the easiest ways to make sure that the colors are going to be complementary, because often dyers will resort to the same recipes and use some of the similar colorways across their different braid colorways. And so these are all from Sweet Georgia, all from my stash at different places at different times. So this one is sort of blues, and there's some pale greens and some burgundies in there. And then this one again has some blues, but it's sort of more like got the rusts and the browns in it. And then this one has lots of purples and the rust, and there's a little bit of green in there. And so when you start comparing them and finding similarities between them, the blues between these 2 are actually quite similar. The rusty color in this one is a little bit of a deeper shade to this one, so that's where those 2 sort of mix and mingle. The green in this one and the green in this one are really quite similar, and then between these 2, the purples really sort of pull together. And so you can see that these are 3 very, very different braids, But by finding that little bit of commonality, when you combo draft them, you're going to create a really mixed up, vibrant colorway, and that uses up some of your stash. So that is a little bit about combo drafting and how you would go about choosing the braids within your stash. Just remember, you don't need to have similarities between all three braids. They can be, this one is common with this one because of these two things, and then this one and this one are common because of these two things. There doesn't have to be something that ties all three of them together. As long as two of them tie together in one way, and two of the other ones maybe tie together in a different way, and then the last two, like, there's different combinations that you can put together there to create a really, really lovely finished yarn. So I hope this inspires you to go digging in your stash, seeing what you can come up with, and having some fun playing with color. If you have questions that you would like me to answer in a future video, please send them to ask@craftyjacks.ca, and I will do my very best to do that for you. And until next time, have a wonderful day, and we'll see you later. Bye for now.